Pip had chosen his path. He was no longer a confused spectator, torn between the past and the future. He was a detective, a value investor. He would follow the path of Barry the Bear, searching for hidden gems, for strong, magnificent oaks that the market had foolishly priced as mere bushes. He walked back to the grove of ancient trees, a newfound determination in his step. He found the oak that Barry had been inspecting, the one with a little moss on its bark that had scared everyone else away. Pip looked at it, ready to invest. But then, a cold wave of doubt washed over him. The tree looked strong, the bark was thick, the branches were high, but what if it was a trick? What if the moss wasn't just a harmless blemish, but a sign of a deep internal rot? What if he was about to trade his hard-earned acorns for a beautiful but dying giant? He looked over at Barry the Bear, who was now tapping the trunk of another old tree, listening intently like a doctor. A final, crucial question sparked in Pip's mind. He ran to the wise badger. "Okay," he said, breathless. "I want to be a detective like Barry, but how does he know? How does he know the tree is strong and not secretly rotten on the inside? How does he know it's being sold for the price of a bush? Does he give the tree a health checkup before he buys it?" The wise badger's smile was brighter than ever. "Pip," he said, "you have just asked the most important question in the entire church of value, and the answer is yes. Before a value investor ever spends a single acorn, he performs a thorough financial health checkup. He reads the company's medical chart." "A medical chart?" asked Pip. "Precisely," the badger replied. "It's called a financial statement, and it tells you everything about the company's health. For a beginner, you only need to check 3 vital signs." He drew a large, simple outline of an oak tree in the dirt. "First," he said, tapping the very top of the tree, where the leaves collect sunlight, "is the revenue. This is the tree's total harvest for the year. How many acorns did it generate from selling its own acorns, its wood, its shade? This is the heartbeat of the business. Is it strong and growing or weak and shrinking?" Next, he pointed to the thick, solid trunk of the tree. "Second is the profit," he said. "The harvest is one thing, but how much is left after the tree has fed its roots, repaired its branches, and paid its dues to the soil? Profit is what remains after all the costs of doing business. This tells you if the business is truly healthy or just big and wasteful. It is the deep, steady breath of the company." Finally, the badger pointed to the ground around the tree, where he drew a tangled web of vines clinging to its roots. "And third," he said, his voice low, "is the debt. How many acorns does this tree owe to other parts of the forest? A little debt, like a vine that helps it climb, can be a good thing, but too much debt," he said, drawing the vines choking the roots, "can strangle even the strongest tree. This is the tree's fever. Is it healthy, or is it sick with obligations?" Pip was mesmerized. It wasn't just random numbers anymore. It was a living system. Revenue was the heartbeat, profit was the breath, debt was the fever. A value investor, Pip, looks at these 3 vital signs over many years, the badger concluded. He is looking for a strong heartbeat, a steady breath, and a low fever. If he finds that, and the price is still low because the rest of the market is scared of a little moss, he knows he has found his treasure. Armed with this powerful new knowledge, Pip spent the next week as a true detective. He gathered the medical charts for all the old, strong oaks in the forest. He analyzed their heartbeats, their breaths, their fevers. He found some that were secretly sick with debt, and he avoided them. He found others that were strong and healthy, just as they appeared. But then he noticed something strange. He found 2 trees that were almost identical, both with a strong heartbeat, steady breath, and no fever. They were both perfect investments. Yet one of them was doing something extra. At the end of every season, it was taking a small portion of its leftover acorns and generously sharing them with its owners. He looked at the other healthy tree, which kept all of its acorns for itself. He looked back at the generous one.
He went to the Badger, more curious than ever. "Mr. Badger, I've found two perfectly healthy trees, but one of them shares its harvest and the other doesn't. Why? Why do some companies share their acorns with me and others don't?"